Have you ever stood in front of a closet full of clothes and still thought to yourself, I have nothing to wear? It is not because you are lacking options, but because somehow everything hanging there no longer feels like it belongs to the woman you are today. Some pieces look dull and lifeless, while others feel too loud, too bright, almost competing with the quiet confidence you have earned over the years. Maybe you have been wearing the same colors for decades, colors that once felt perfect, but now no longer highlight your beauty, your style, or the grace that has grown with you. The truth is, there are colors that can instantly make a woman over 50 look both elegant and youthful, without chasing trends or trying to be someone she is not. Style after 50 is not about pretending to be younger. It is about choosing colors that tell your story, shades that reflect the milestones, the experiences, and the moments that have shaped who you are. It is about honoring yourself with choices that feel intentional and deeply personal. In this video, I will share with you 7 of the most timeless and flattering colors for women over 50 in America, including a few beautiful secret shades that very few people talk about. And if you stay with me until the very end, I will reveal one simple color pairing principle that can completely transform the way you show up, making you unforgettable to everyone you meet. So, shall we begin? 1. Sage green, the quiet elegance of nature. Did you know that in the United States, a 2025 survey by the Pantone Color Institute found that more than 38% of women over 50 said they feel calmer and more at peace when they wear soft green shades like sage green? It is no coincidence. This color is a gentle mix of green and gray, reminiscent of dried sage leaves hanging in a cozy kitchen, something that feels both rustic and refined. Speaking from my own experience as a woman in her 60s, I have worn just about every bold shade you can imagine. I went through phases of deep ruby reds, sunshine yellows, and loud floral prints. Eventually, I realized that some colors make me feel like I can breathe a little easier. It is not because they are dull, but because they soothe the mind and enhance natural beauty. Sage green is one of those colors. I remember a spring brunch in Santa Barbara last year. I wore a sage green midi dress with a light beige cardigan over it, paired with nude kitten heels. It was simple, nothing flashy, but a longtime friend leaned over and said, "You look so fresh and classy, like you just stepped out of a lifestyle magazine." Later, when I looked in the mirror in the restroom, I noticed my skin seemed warmer, and even the fine lines around my eyes looked softer. What I love about sage green is how versatile it is. During the day, a linen sage green blouse with ivory trousers and beige loafers is my go-to combination, perfect for anything from a coffee date to a book club meeting. In the evening, a satin sage green dress with a slim champagne gold belt and a soft leather clutch can feel surprisingly elegant under warm evening lights. Let me ask you something. When you try a new color, do you care more about how you feel when you look in the mirror, or do you focus on the compliments you receive? I am curious because everyone has their own way of deciding what makes a color right for them. Of course, I have made mistakes too. I once chose a sage green that leaned too yellow, and under fluorescent lighting, my skin looked noticeably dull. My advice is this: if your skin is fair or neutral, go for a sage green with cool or neutral undertones. If you have warm-toned skin, you can lean toward a slightly olive version, but keep it soft so it does not overpower your complexion. The moment you find a color that makes you feel both confident and comfortable, you will realize it is not just a fashion choice. It becomes part of the story you are telling about who you are today. Color is one of the many ways we send messages about ourselves, and there is so much more you can explore to make your personal style unique and truly your own. 2. Muted rose, the grace of gentle femininity. According to a 2024 fashion color preference study by AARP, nearly 42% of women over 50 said they feel more approachable and warm when wearing softer shades of pink, especially muted rose. It is a tone that carries femininity without being overly sweet, warmth without overwhelming the eye, and elegance that feels timeless. As a woman in her 60s, I have a long history with pink. In my 40s, I often wore bright pink blouses because I thought they gave me energy, but over time I noticed they sometimes made my skin look a little too flushed and demanded more attention than I wanted. When I discovered muted rose, it felt like I had finally found the perfect middle ground. It is soft enough to flatter mature skin, yet rich enough to avoid looking washed out. I remember one afternoon when I wore a muted rose midi dress with a light gray cardigan to a friend's garden tea party. A guest I had just met smiled warmly and said, "You look so comforting to be around." That comment stayed with me because it made me realize that colors can speak on our behalf before we even say a word. Later that year, I paired a muted rose cashmere sweater with tailored cocoa trousers for a lunch date, and my daughter told me I looked elegant but huggable, which made me laugh but also touched my heart. Muted rose works beautifully in different settings. For a relaxed day, I love wearing a cotton blouse in this shade with ivory jeans and pearl studs. For something more formal, a silk muted rose blouse under a dove gray blazer feels refined and sophisticated. Have you ever tried pairing muted rose with metallic accessories like rose gold or soft bronze? It can bring out a gentle glow in your complexion. I want to ask you, when you choose a color, are you thinking about how it makes you look in photos or how it makes people respond to you in person? It is worth reflecting on, because sometimes the color that photographs well is not always the one that makes you feel most at ease face to face. Of course, there are mistakes to avoid. Bright neon pink can look too sharp against mature skin, and overly shiny fabrics can make this color appear less refined. The beauty of muted rose lies in its softness, so matte textures, cashmere, cotton blends, or matte silk are ideal choices. Finding the right color is not just about matching your skin tone, it is about matching your spirit in this season of life. And when you start seeing color as part of your personal story, it opens the door to exploring shades you may never have considered before. 3. Champagne Beige, the subtle glow of effortless sophistication. According to a 2025 report from the Color Marketing Group, soft, neutral tones like champagne beige have been trending steadily among women over 50, with more than 35% saying they choose it for its balance of elegance and approachability. This shade sits delicately between warm beige and a hint of gold, evoking the gentle sparkle of a champagne toast on a special evening. It is the kind of color that whispers sophistication without trying too hard. As someone in her 60s, I have learned that not all neutrals are created equal. In my 40s, I often wore standard beige, thinking it was a safe, timeless choice. But looking back at old photos, I can see how certain beige tones made me look tired or washed out. The first time I tried champagne beige was for a charity dinner in San Diego. I wore a satin midi dress in this shade with nude heels and a simple gold bracelet. That night, a woman I had never met before stopped me and said, "You look so classy, but also fun, like you're here to enjoy the night." That was the moment I realized champagne beige has a special kind of magic. For daytime, I love wearing a well-fitted champagne beige blazer over an ivory blouse, paired with tailored trousers and soft leather loafers. It is polished but still approachable, perfect for a business lunch or meeting new people. In the evening, champagne beige comes alive under warm lighting. A satin dress in this shade, paired with nude heels and delicate gold jewelry, feels both glamorous and understated. Have you ever noticed how certain colors seem to pick up the light around you and give your skin a natural glow? Champagne beige does exactly that. Let me ask you something. When you are choosing an outfit for a special occasion, do you think more about the style of the clothing or the color first? I have found that sometimes the right color can make even a simple design look extraordinary, while the wrong color can make the most expensive dress feel flat. One thing to be careful about with champagne beige is choosing a tone that is too gray. I made that mistake once when I bought a blazer online. Under indoor lighting, the color lost its warmth and made my complexion look dull. If you have warm or neutral undertones, go for champagne beige with a soft golden glow. If your undertones are cool, you can still wear it, but make sure it leans more toward ivory with just a touch of warmth. Finding a shade like champagne beige is like discovering a piece of jewelry that works with everything in your wardrobe. Once you have it, you will start to see new possibilities in how you dress and how you present yourself. And when that happens, it often sparks the curiosity to explore other colors you may have overlooked before. 4. Cocoa, the warmth of timeless strength. A 2024 survey from the Fashion Institute of Technology found that deep, earthy tones like cocoa brown ranked among the top 5 most trusted colors for professional and social settings among women over 50. There is a reason for that. Cocoa is warm without being overwhelming, rich without being flashy, and it carries a natural sense of grounded elegance. From my own experience, cocoa brown has become one of those colors I reach for when I want to feel both confident and approachable. I remember wearing a tailored mocha coat to a leadership conference in Chicago. It was a crisp autumn morning, and I paired it with an ivory silk blouse, wide-leg trousers, and gold earrings. Halfway through the day, a fellow attendee leaned over and said, "You have such a powerful presence, but you feel so easy to talk to." That comment perfectly captured what cocoa brown does for me. It softens the edges of authority and adds a sense of trustworthiness. For casual days, I often choose a chunky cocoa cashmere sweater with ivory pants and suede loafers. It is comfortable, yet polished enough to meet friends for lunch or stop by a gallery. For evenings, a mocha wrap dress with gold accessories feels instantly sophisticated. Have you ever noticed how some colors make jewelry stand out more? Cocoa is one of them. It makes gold gleam warmer and pearls look creamier. And even rose gold seems to have more depth. I want to ask you, when you dress for an important event, do you choose your outfit based on how it will make you feel, or on how you want others to perceive you? For me, cocoa brown strikes that rare balance where I feel secure inside and project that confidence outward. The only real mistake with cocoa is choosing a tone that leans too orange or has too much shine. I once bought a satin dress in a reddish-brown shade, thinking it would work like cocoa, but under bright lights it felt outdated and even a bit harsh. For the best effect, look for matte or softly textured fabrics like cashmere, wool, or brushed cotton. When you find a color that offers both the comfort of familiarity and the presence of authority, it becomes more than just a clothing choice. It becomes part of your signature. And when that happens, it is only natural to start wondering what other shades might give you that same sense of self-assurance in a completely different way. 5. Soft lilac, the artistic touch of refined femininity. According to a 2023 color psychology feature in Vogue, soft lilac is among the top emerging shades for women over 50 who want to convey both creativity and sophistication. It sits in that sweet spot where it feels fresh without being overly youthful, and elegant without losing a sense of playfulness. For me, soft lilac is the color I choose when I want to feel a little more imaginative, as if I am letting the world see my artistic side. I remember wearing a lilac silk blouse with navy trousers to a local art fundraiser in Seattle. The combination felt effortless, but it was the shade of lilac that drew attention. A woman I had never met before approached me and said, "You look so artistic and elegant, like you belong in one of the paintings." That comment stayed with me because it reminded me that sometimes a color alone can shape how people perceive your personality. I have also seen this color work beautifully on others. One of my friends, an artist in her early 50s, wore a soft lilac dress with a white scarf to her own gallery opening. The entire evening, people commented on how serene yet captivating she looked. Have you ever noticed how certain colors seem to carry an energy that fits the mood of an event? Soft lilac has that kind of subtle charisma. When it comes to styling, I find that pairing lilac with crisp white or deep navy creates a balanced look that works for both daytime and evening. For a relaxed brunch, a lilac blouse with navy trousers and silver earrings feels approachable yet polished. For an evening event, a lilac midi dress with a soft ivory shawl adds an air of grace without feeling too formal. I want to ask you something. When you experiment with a new color, do you pay more attention to how it complements your skin tone? or to how it makes you feel emotionally. I believe that for colors like lilac, the emotional response is just as important as the visual harmony. The only real mistake to avoid is choosing a lilac that is too bright or overly pastel. I made that error once with a summer dress that looked lovely on the hanger but felt too juvenile when I wore it. The trick is to find a shade with a touch of gray or softness in it, which makes it more wearable and mature. Once you find your perfect lilac, you may notice it opens the door to exploring other shades you never considered before, colors that can quietly transform the way you feel about your wardrobe and yourself. 6. Deep navy, the quiet power of lasting confidence. According to a 2024 style survey by AARP, more than 40% of women over 50 in the United States say they prefer navy blue over black for formal or professional events because it feels softer on the face while still conveying authority. Deep navy, in particular, carries what I like to call quiet power. It has the intelligence and reliability of black, but with an added warmth that makes it more approachable. I remember the first time I truly appreciated deep navy. It was at a corporate leadership event in New York about 7 years ago. I had always relied on black suits for important occasions, believing they were the ultimate symbol of sophistication. That year, I decided to try something different. I wore a deep navy suit with an ivory silk blouse and pearl earrings. When I walked into the room, a colleague I had not seen in years told me, "You look so sharp, but there's a brightness about you that's refreshing." That comment stayed with me because I realized how a small shift in color could change the energy I projected. For daytime, a tailored navy blazer over a white blouse with slim trousers feels effortlessly polished for meetings or interviews. In the evening, a deep navy midi dress with silver earrings catches the light in the most flattering way. Have you noticed how navy seems to complement almost every skin tone? It brings out the warmth in olive complexions and adds depth to fairer skin, making it one of the most universally flattering dark shades. Let me ask you this. When you choose darker colors, are you thinking about the slimming effect? Or do you focus on how the color interacts with your facial features? I have found that the wrong dark shade can cast shadows under the eyes, while the right one, like deep navy, can make you look more awake and engaged. The only caution with navy is to avoid extremes. A navy that is too bright can feel overly casual, while one that is too close to black can lose its distinctiveness. The sweet spot is a deep, saturated navy that still allows for contrast when paired with lighter tones. High-quality fabrics like wool crepe, ponte knit, or silk blends will hold the richness of the color far better than cheaper synthetics. Once you experience the effect of deep navy, you may start to see how choosing the right shade can subtly enhance not only your appearance, but also the impression you leave behind. And when you realize how much a single color can influence the way you carry yourself, it is only natural to wonder what other shades might bring out a different side of you. 7. Warm terracotta, the Earth's warm embrace. According to a 2023 trend analysis by the Pantone Color Institute, earthy reds like warm terracotta have been gaining popularity among women over 50, with nearly 32% saying they choose it for its balance of strength and warmth. This shade is deeply rooted in nature, reflecting the tones of sun-baked clay and desert landscapes. It radiates confidence while maintaining an inviting softness. In my own wardrobe, warm terracotta is the color I reach for when I want to stand out without shouting. I remember a trip to Arizona 2 years ago, where I wore a sleeveless terracotta maxi dress with a pair of leather sandals. We were visiting a small artisan market just outside Sedona, and one of the vendors smiled and told me, "You're catching everyone's eye, but in the best way. You're noticeable without being loud." That moment reminded me why I love this color so much. It commands attention while blending seamlessly with its surroundings. For daytime, I often wear a terracotta knit sweater with cream-colored trousers and a tan crossbody bag. It is comfortable yet put together, perfect for lunch dates or exploring new places. In the evening, terracotta pairs beautifully with gold jewelry, giving off a warm glow under soft lighting. Have you ever noticed how certain colors can almost make you feel the temperature of a place? Terracotta carries the memory of warmth, like the lingering heat on stone after sunset. I want to ask you this. When you choose a bold color, do you think about how it will look in different environments, or do you focus mainly on how it photographs? For me, terracotta is one of those colors that feels just as beautiful in real life as it does in pictures, and that makes it even more special. The only real pitfall with this shade is going too far toward a red, heavy tone. I made that mistake once with a dress that looked vibrant in the store, but felt too harsh outdoors, almost aging me. The key is to choose a balanced terracotta that has a subtle brown undertone, keeping it earthy and elegant. Once you see how a color like warm terracotta can both energize and comfort, it becomes easier to imagine the possibilities that await when you continue exploring your palette. And that curiosity is often the first step to discovering new favorites that make your style feel even more complete. After 50, color becomes more than just something you wear. It becomes a language. Every shade you choose speaks softly about who you are, what you value, and how you move through the world. It is not about hiding or blending in. It is about honoring the woman you have become and allowing your presence to be felt without a single word. If there is one thing I hope you take away from today, it is this: choose colors that celebrate you, not conceal you. Let your clothing be an extension of your confidence, not a mask to cover up who you are. Remember, too, that quality matters. The right fabric can elevate even the simplest shade, giving it depth, richness, and a quiet kind of luxury. And perhaps most importantly, elegance often lives in simplicity. When your choices are intentional, your style becomes timeless. So I invite you to try just one of these 7 colors in the week ahead. See how it changes the way you feel, and notice how people respond to you. You might be surprised by the light you carry, a light that others can see and feel the moment you walk into a room. You have not faded. You have evolved. And the colors you wear can be your companions in celebrating that evolution, telling your story in the most beautiful way possible.